Hello and welcome to Future Self Dreaming. My name is Carlos Kukulkan. In the last presentation I was exploring the themes from a book titled The Shaman's Doorway related to shamanism and accessing the mythic dimension, which I wanted to continue to explore today. One of the ways we have of expressing contemporary myth is through film, and a Netflix series was brought to my attention by a girlfriend recently, which has themes in it that had a deep impact on me. The series is titled The OA. The letters OA stand for The Original Angel. I highly recommend viewing this series, which today I want to briefly elaborate on in light of some of the themes within it from a mythic and shamanic perspective. The Romanian historian of religion and philosopher Mircea Eliade writes that myth seeks to bestow a meaning that is valid in whatever time it appears. In the book The Shaman's Doorway, Stephen Lanson describes that first-hand mystical experience is sometimes so powerful that one must render it, translate it, shape it into a form comprehensible to consciousness, and that even the intrepid shaman does not venture into the realm of primary meaning without a myth in mind, as the myth is the vehicle for a supernatural transaction that brings healing or resolution. He continues to state that the forms of mythology and religion have a dual purpose, that being, they reawaken man to an experience of the divine and yet also safeguard him from having to deal with it in its formless aspect, pure power and meaning. The shamanic journey into the spiritual, mythic or psychedelic realm is often described as accessing the realm of the dead or the ancestors. In the series mentioned called The OA, conceived of by Britt Marling and Zal Butmunglich, the themes explore interdimensional travel due to the near-death experience. As is often the case in life, the near-death experience in the story of the original angel awakens remembrance of the continuity of consciousness, the higher self, and recall of past or future lives experienced as occurring simultaneously in the infinite eternal now. Stephen Lanson says that the imprints of mythology function as guiding symbols and signposts to the inner landscape, cue cards for the mythic drama that one may unexpectedly find oneself enacting. As mentioned in previous presentations, Joseph Campbell outlines the stages of the hero's journey, one being the call to adventure, where the hero, often somewhat unwittingly, takes a journey beyond the realm of their known world. One of the means of conveying myth throughout time has been various forms of storytelling. These stories utilize metaphors to awaken this journey towards the interior, and there are many metaphors deeply embedded within the plot of the OA, one being the need for the main characters to escape the limitations of their own thinking and discover what is beyond. This is initially seen and symbolized as the external escape from a prison or mental health hospital. However, the deeper freedom emerges as the characters transform the limitations of their consciousness. Another metaphor is that of blindness, which transforms into physical sight as insight into the deeper spiritual reality is discovered. There are also scenes of lotus flowers emerging from the brain, symbolic of an enlightened state or light emerging from where there was once previous darkness. Other metaphors that I appreciate throughout the series are an encounter with what may be viewed as the tree of life in a transcendent realm that tells of the nature of all things on the earth and in the stars being interconnected. There is a theme of the need to develop soul groups to work towards unlocking a puzzle, a riddle, maze, or game. One of the reasons I love this masterpiece of film so much is because of the emotional impact that it had upon me. This modern form of storytelling, incorporating narrative and visual mediums, conveys these universal metaphors, symbols, and archetypes in a manner that all invoke a deep sense of meaning within them. They touch upon a deeper layer of meaning that Stephen Lanson writes of in The Shaman's Doorway, a concept he refers to as primary meaning. He describes that primary meaning may be thought of as a unitive quality present in one form or another throughout all religions and mystical experiences, whether primitive or modern, and says that In the absence of this feeling dimension, the empty forms of myth and religion come more to resemble absurd theories about reality and patent fictions. But when these forms are experienced in the presence of primary meaning, they indeed appear full of meaning, lit up from the inside, as it were. And then they become a gateway which lures man from his waking, three-dimensional consciousness to a contemplation of what has been called the mysterium tremendum et fascinans, the universe seen in its sacred aspect. It is this experience that Professor Rudolf Otto termed numinous. It is this faculty of perception informed by primary meaning that Lanson describes as the mythic imagination, and he says that the mythic imagination prefers representations and forms not because they accurately reflect and describe reality, but because they touch the realm of the inner primary meaning. With this in mind, the meaning of myth is discovered by inviting or courting the felt sense primary experience rather than attempting to cognitively define it. The meaning escapes the rational mindset of the critical scientist or bemused anthropologist stuck in the secondary meaning born of socialized conditioned beliefs, verbal descriptions, explanations, and logical analysis. The primary meaning awakens to an open state of consciousness that can be receptive to the moment of experiential impact, whereby we can transcend the limit of ourselves. The mythical experience is only understood by entering an altered state of consciousness in which one is associated to the experiential felt sense primary meaning that may act as a trigger for catapulting one into an ecstatic experience of the numinous. In this state, beyond reason, one comes to experientially unveil the knowledge of the mystic, that is, that the universe is beneath the illusion of separateness an interconnected continuum. It is this experience that has been attempted to be invoked throughout time in the practice of mythic ritual and ceremonial magic. As with the hero's journey, the creative process that emerges from the realm of myth is one of revealing. The end creation doesn't emerge fully formed. The understanding reveals itself to the artist and the mystic in the unfolding process of creating. As always, I hope you've enjoyed what has been shared in this presentation, and if you wish to journey with more episodes of Future Self Dreaming, please hit the like and subscribe button. Information about booking counselling sessions and workshops can be found via the website futureselfdreaming.com, and you can also follow Future Self Dreaming on Instagram and Facebook. In Lakesh.